Hey peeps, it's a brooding rainy day here in New England and it is the last day of July. This month has just gone by so quickly that it doesn't feel like it's time to make this video, but it really is. We're going to be talking about the decks that I have on my list to work with in August. And there's been like a very clear color palette that's come forward because over the last week, as I shared in my July favorites, I spent a little time out in the forest and I got that first scent, that first soft, beckoning scent in the air that the beginning of autumn is approaching. I love that smell. There's nothing like that scent. It's so inspiring for me. September, October, and November are my favorite months of the year. I always feel so witchy, so creative, so tapped in, so alive with my own magic. And so it's definitely starting in August this year because I've really been amping up that feeling the last few days, and lots of like warm jewel tones, browns, like velvets and brocades. This is the type of feel I kind of want in my decks that I'm going to work with this month. And I have two that are still carrying the blue tone of summer for me, but you can definitely see that we're moving into more of an autumnal vibe in the decks that I'm working with, much more old school, romantic goth, forest vibes. So let's get into the list without further ado. I purchased the Crow Tarot recently. I believe it was a few months ago now. And I really haven't worked with it a great deal outside of client readings. This is a mass-produced deck, by the way, for my peeps that would like me to show a little more mass-produced. Sorry guys, indie decks are just where it's at. But I want to work with this more this month. I feel like it holds a bridge between the Forhaxa Tarot and the energy right now, which is that late spring, late spring. Let's not go back there. Late summer, Lunasa into Mabon vibes with these kind of rich early harvest tones, but we haven't had the cold set in yet. There's still the dry warmth of summer, or in this case this year, the humid heat of summer to slow one down, if you will. And I think that the Crow Tarot will hold a nice space with that. It's It's also going to be a month that will let me know, like, am I actually going to work with this deck? Are we really going to connect? Because I haven't had that personal level of connection yet. Next on the list is Brian Froud's Faeries Oracle. Everything about this deck is perfect for this time of year for me. And I have particularly been feeling connected to the god Lu as we approach August 1st. And I think this deck is a wonderful conduit for connecting with the Celtic pantheon as well as with the Fae. And I'm enjoying the last few days I've been working with her a little bit. I'm enjoying reconnecting with this deck. And I really want to have fun playing with this as I move throughout the month of August. So this is Brian Froud's Faeries Oracle, which I believe is still in print. The next two decks on the list cover the blue tone of summer. So Tierra May's Ritual Tarot, this is an earlier edition. I love this deck. I'm in the middle of crafting a workshop with Hecate with this deck. And the color palette here just really speaks to the end of summer for me. And I'm really like starting to see how seasonally I live, how seasonally and Sabbath-based my own journey and walk is. And I think this deck really holds a profound space for the end of summer, for the awarenesses, but also that sense of ennui and the heady flavors in the air, the kind of Catholic opulence, if you will, that inspires and speaks to me. So I am very excited to work with this deck more this month. I've worked with this deck a lot this year. We've really deepened into a depth of connection that's quite powerful. So I'm very excited to work with her more in the month of August. These Blue Bones Oracle, I just did an unboxing of this. This is one of those decks that's going to become an all-time favorite of mine, and getting to know her has been so pleasurable. This is the latest release from Rose Bay Tarot, and it does not disappoint. I've already ordered a second copy to make sure I have a backup. That's how much I love it. It's been really just delicious to start to get to know, and there's such a, you know, there's a lustiness to the energy of connecting with this deck, but there's also a slowness, a savoring, which is different than Rose Bay's other decks. A sense of like space between. There's a veil that's slowly being lifted as I get to know this deck. And so I will be doing daily draws with this deck in the month of August for sure. That is the These Blue Bones Oracle by Rose Bay Tarot. Next on the list is a carryover from last month, and that is the Nameless One Oracle. Everything about the color, the feel, the vibe of this deck is perfect for where I'm at right now, and I really just want to hang out with her more. So I'm going to be doing daily draws with this deck as well. The Nameless One and These Blue Bones will take the place of the Death Doula and the Delian Oracle, which I did daily draws with every day last month. I just want some more time to like, to be with her, to talk with her, to get to know her. It's such a meditative, reflective, personal magic oracle and tarot deck. And I don't know, this deck is irreplaceable. There's nothing like the Nameless One. So I'm really excited to do some more daily draws with her personally in my own practice for the month of August. The next two decks on my list are by the same creatrix, but Black and the Moon, the Antique Anatomy Tarot and the Memento Mori Oracle. The Memento Mori Oracle and I have just been, we've been spending some serious time together, both professionally and personally, and I just love her this time of year. She's everything spiritualist, witchy, Victorian, Edwardian, just deliciousness. That is this deck, and I've really developed quite a beautiful relationship with her, and I am really looking forward to continuing to work with her in the month of August, and I want to be quite intentional with working with her and with also building my personal grimoire, my personal guidebook for working with this deck as well. I kind of want to redo that guidebook and put the guidebook in a journal that's more reflective of our relationship and connection than the one that I originally crafted for her. So that's kind of a personal creative project I'd like to take on in the month of August, if time allows. This is the Antique Anatomy Tarot, and it's just one that color-wise, with its floral textures and the bones, really holds that liminal space between summer and fall quite beautifully, the same way that she does between spring and summer. So I'm going to look forward to doing a lot of professional work with her as a reading deck in the month of August, but also just making some time to be with her, to love her, to explore her, to find a new way to connect with her, like a new level of her personality and connection with her. The other deck that I really vibe with in August, September, and October is the Compendium of Witches Oracle. Oh, I love this deck so much. And it's so perfect for this time of year. It's just, oh man, it's like Lunasa, Mabon, and Soin in one. I love working with this Oracle deck. And she's coming out on my working table for the month of August because she's really great in client work too. She loves to hang out with others. She's not just for personal workings, and she gives really clear insight. She brings a lot of clarification to the tarot aspect of readings. And one of my favorite depictions of an owl ever is in this deck. It's this card right here. And something so powerfully magical about this Oracle deck. If you're looking for like a witches deck, I think Compendium of Witches, the Lost Oracle, the Magical Botanical, those kind of decks just have that feel. And this is one of those three where it's just straight up a witch's working deck. And I'm really, really excited to hang out with her both professionally and personally for the month of August. Next on the list is the Old Ways Magick Oracle by Naomi Kornick. I love this deck, and I've had an interesting kind of, with Lou coming in, like this Celtic Pantheon vibe has just pulled me in. And I wasn't planning on that. We took a little detour because I have also been feeling very connected to Hecate and Medusa prior to the last week or so. But when your gods call you, they call you. So in keeping with the Celtic Pantheon theme, I want to work with this deck because I think that this artist, not only has she done the Call of the Morrigan Oracle, but this deck particularly is very much associated with Celtic energy, with Celtic Fae, and with the Morrigan and Cernunnos for me. So I'm hoping it will also serve as a go-between for Lou and I as well, as we draw closer together, as we get to know each other more. I love the artwork in this deck so much. It's so wild, and it feels like such an energy raising when you connect with this artwork. And yeah, it's not like any other deck I have. It's got a very unique voice. So I would like to personally use this to walk with some gods and goddesses that I have not of late been intimately connected to, but would like us to explore deeper levels of relationship together. So this is on the list for August as well. And then my final deck on the list for August is the Lost Oracle by Fiona Horn. I believe, I always forget. Yes, Fiona Horn. This is one of my all-time favorite Oracle decks. I don't know. I don't know what else to say because I love this deck so much. It's so stunningly gorgeous. It's so true to my path as a witch, my craft as a witch, how it feels for me to walk a path as a witch, to say, this is my path. I think this deck holds the space for that so beautifully. It's such an illuminating and empowering deck, and it really taps you into the fundamentals of your craft, and it reminds you of what's important, and it encourages you to claim that power, claim that connection, and to walk your talk, to really engage in the practices that allow us to live and breathe as witches in a time where, for many of us, not all of us, but for many of us, we are able to actually be public with our path and practice and walk. And so this deck I want to connect with as a return to the foundations of my craft, the elements, the esbits and the sabbats, and just giving myself permission by working with this deck to luxuriate in those aspects of my practice that are so delicious and so lusty. And also, this deck is very Lilith Babylon, Dark Venus, Persephone in its vibe to me, as well as holding a lot of crone energy. So I'm looking forward to talking to those faces of the goddess over the month with this deck as well. I will be using this in both personal and professional practice in the month of August. So these are the decks that are calling to me. Like I said, really been connecting with Lou. I'm very intrigued to see what comes up for me with the Witch's Devil in the month of August, because I've been feeling that call again. And also Babylon, Dark Venus, Lilith, this energy has been circling in a new way to revisit some, I think, glamour magic and sacred sex aspects of my practice. And so I will be exploring those connections with the divine as I move through the month of August as well. So this is my list. It's an extensive list this month. It's a big list, but I'm here for it. I'm feeling inspired and excited to connect and to walk with these decks. So let me know what your deck goals are for the month of August. Who are you feeling connected to? Who do you want to hang out with and see if there's places for you to go together? I would love to hear your list of TBR decks for the month of August. I'm sending you guys, as always, oceans of love from the heart of the forest, and I will, of course, see you in the next video. Take care.